What's up, guys? James Carter TV here to recap the Buffalo Bills' domination of the Miami Dolphins in the late afternoon game here on Sunday afternoon. And really, this game, this is early in the NFL. I mean, this is still week 3. But man, oh man, Joe Philbin, you're going to have some questions to answer after this one. Your seat is getting a little hot right now. It's like, ooh, it's burning a little bit right now after this game. And if you lose next week, I wouldn't be surprised if they cut them off right there. The Dolphins are now 1-2. And not only that, the one win that they had was against a Washington Redskins team that no one expected anything from, and it was very, very underwhelming. And it was won because of a Jarvis Landry punt return for a touchdown. So even in that game, the offense really didn't do much of anything. And yet again, now in this game, Tannehill had 3 interceptions, now one of which you can blame on Jarvis Landry, and that's fine. The other 2, I'm looking at him. And Lamar Miller didn't run the ball very well today. The defense was, oh my God, it was awful. And it really doesn't make sense because you do have Cameron Wake. You do have Ndamukong Suh. You do have Rashad Jones. You do have Cole Messi. You do have these guys that are plenty talented enough to at least slow down the Buffalo Bills. But no, with Brent Grimes as well, he doesn't look anywhere near as good as he should be looking right now. And Miami Dolphins continue to be a team that underwhelms under the Joe Philbin era, and I've wanted to go to bat for Joe Philbin over the past couple years, but ultimately, you have to start winning football games now. I mean, you're on the hot seat, you've been losing games, and this is a very tough loss to swallow. As for the Buffalo Bills, though, this is a very good win for them. Coming off the loss last week to the New England Patriots, they wanted to come back, win in the division. They did that. They're looking more and more like the second best team in the AFC East. Will that be good enough for a playoff spot? I don't know. We need to see them against more teams. I mean, beating the Dolphins. Right now, the Dolphins don't look like a very good team. And on paper, they look like a good team, but they just aren't. So am I really impressed? Sure. The Colts you beat, but do they look like a very good team? No, we expected them to be a very good team, but I need to see the Bills get out of the AFC a little bit, specifically the AFC East, and win games outside of their realm. Next week, they are going up against the New York Giants at home. They should win this, and if they don't win this, then I'll be very concerned. So I just want to see them, move around a little bit, get out of the AFC East, win some games where I really can raise an eyebrow and I can say, okay. But until then, I'm not going to pick the Bills to make the playoffs quite yet. I haven't seen enough from them. Tyrod Taylor, though, played well. Today he had 277 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, which is nice after last week's game where he threw a couple of picks. Sammy Watkins didn't do much today. Had a catch. I think he maybe got nicked a little bit. I saw him complaining on the sideline. I don't know what's going on with him because, ultimately to me, he's the most talented player on this offense. So I'd love to see him get more involved in the offense. But right now, it looks like the Percy Harvin, Charles Clay, and Robert Wood show. I don't know why Sammy Watkins is being used as a decoy. That's someone that they should really be using on this offense. But man, really not much takeaways besides those. Miami needs to start winning now or Joe Philbin's job will be gone before the season is over, I can tell you that. And then the other late games, the Cardinals crush the San Francisco 49ers. Cardinals look very, very, very formidable. Although, like the Buffalo Bills, they haven't beaten a team where you're like, whoa, the Cardinals beat this team, all right? They beat the New Orleans Saints, they beat the Chicago Bears, and they beat the San Francisco 49ers. No one's expecting any of those teams now to be under 500 or to be above 500. We're all expecting them to be under 500. I think the 49ers will be at 500. But anyway, so let's see what they do next week. The Arizona Cardinals go up against the St. Louis Rams. They're going to win again against a poor team. So I don't know. I don't know how good the Cardinals really are. I'm sure they're a playoff team. Are they a Super Bowl team? That's the question we now need to be asking ourselves. And then from there, the San Francisco 49ers, they lost. Next week, they host the Green Bay Packers. The 49ers have had a nice history with the Packers, but after Carson Palmer threw the ball all over them and how Colin Kaepernick looked today, he looked bad. Colin Kaepernick looked bad today. And when you have rookie quarterbacks like Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota that are coming in looking... I mean, I'm a Marcus Mariota fan. I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. I feel real good about my quarterback right now because I'm like, hey, my quarterback is still more developed than this cat. So, Colin Kaepernick, you need to start winning games because if the 49ers are at the top of the 2016 NFL draft, you can kiss your starting job goodbye. I don't care how much money they paid you. Seattle Seahawks shut out the Chicago Bears. The Bears... they punted, I don't even know how many times, but I'll give them this. Their defense wasn't too bad. Yes, the score says 26-0, but 7 of these points were a Tyler Lockett punt return for a touchdown. Another 7 was a Jimmy Graham touchdown. Well, that was pretty bad. But for the most part, they held the Seahawks in check, forced 4 field goals. The offense was just a disaster, but I do still believe that when the Bears get Jay Cutler back, they're not going to be the worst team in the league. They're going to win 5 games, and they're going to compete in games. They're not the worst team in the league. I don't know who the worst team in the league is, by the way, right now. The Seahawks, though, they still have offensive line issues, and they still can't run the ball with Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch got hurt today. They need to fix that. The Arizona Cardinals in your division, they're looking really good. And I don't know who the Seahawks face next week. Let's check. They host the Detroit Lions. I think the Lions are going to upset the Broncos tonight. If they do, then this is going to be a more interesting game than it looks like right now. But for now, I think the Seahawks are going to win this. But they have some problems that they need to fix and iron out through right now. Any other takeaways? No. Well, let me see. Who's the worst team in the league right now? It's very difficult. I mean, you can say the Bears, and I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think it's the Bears. I'd give a hell of an argument for the St. Louis Rams, who I've been low on since the season began, and I understand that they beat the Seattle Seahawks week 1. I don't care. Look at what they've been doing the past 2 weeks. They look horrible. They look horrible, and their roster is horrible. Todd Gurley, oh my God, we're getting Todd Gurley. 6 rushes for 9 yards against a poor Steelers defense. So I'd make an argument for them. I'll take the Bears over them because the Bears. Look at what they have on offense. They have Matt Forte, they have Alshon Jeffrey, they have Jay Cutler. The Rams don't have anyone of that caliber on offense. Yeah, Tavon Austin can make a nice little run and a last little catch here and there. Those 3 players right there, Jamon Bushrod, Kyle Long, there are 5 players on the Bears offense I would take before taking anyone on the Rams offense right now. I'll tell you that. But anyway, I think that's enough from me. Until next time, James Carter TV, I'm out. Peace.